Matt, disappointing night, a 6-0 loss to Charlton. They are title chasers, so we knew they were going to be hard. So how do you make that about?
It's hard, isn't it? You know, we've lost 6-0. There's no way to dress it up. They're very, very, very good. They're a very competent, well-organised team. Our girls worked their socks off tonight. You know, especially in the second half, we did the best we could, and we really put on a show. First 25 of the second half, I think we looked quite good and looked competitive, but they were already falling up at that point. So it's you're chasing your tail, aren't you?
What could you have done against Charlton? Did you say they're a well-organised team, well-structured, they're physical, they're a team that are looking to go up and look ready to go up?
Yeah, well, we could, you can go at teams like this. There's one or two ways. You either bank up and try and hold out and restrict things. And we didn't want to do that today. We wanted to give them a game. We wanted to test them. We wanted to try and get in behind them, to push them in wide areas. So we went at them in a very different way. What we could have done differently is we could have gone, two banks with a holder in between to deny that space, and then just try to catch them on the bounce. But we don't want to be that team. We don't want to be that club that just tries to stop teams and reduce score lines. We wanted to go out and give them a game today, and even at half time at 4-0, the half time changes weren't there to try and reduce the deficit. They were there for us to go out and win the second half of the game, and that's what we wanted to do.
You say the changes there. We did see a few familiar faces back in the squad. Sadie back in goal, and Sherelle on the bench. She came on in the second half, and she made a difference up front, linking up well with Jess and Alex and Tash. Must have been taking positives from that into those last couple of games. Yeah,
and we've got a couple more coming back in. So I think Sadie's just fantastic. She's fantastic. She had a couple of errors today, but you take that with Sadie. You take that, and what she brings into the dressing room, what she brings onto the pitch is just phenomenal, and that shouldn't be underestimated. And the same with Sherelle. Just having them in and around the club is so exciting, and it allows us also to give a little bit more movement. So we were able to drop Jess Lurie in a little bit deeper today. And that again impacts the game. She brings a lot of energy to the midfield for a short period of time, let's say. And having those two girls around is great to have them back in.
Mm-hmm. And another, I think, familiar headline that comes into trial season is another injury. Tiff Taylor going off in the last 10 minutes there, stretchered off. Hopefully not too bad.
No, well, we've lost another two today. Betty Barron at half time. I'm fairly confident she's broken her foot. And Tiff Taylor, obviously at the end of the game. I mean, I say it every week, you can't ride it. I just do not know what we're doing here that's causing these injuries. The girls, well, I do know, they're putting their body on their line, and that's why Tiff got injured today. Great blocking save that stopped Charlton scoring effectively, but it's the girls are working their socks off and maybe pushing their bodies beyond it. And the more we get injured, the more that are on the pitch need to push themselves. So it's probably leading to a few more injuries.
And what is the sort of thinking now? The two last games, you've got QPR at home on Sunday, the last home game, and then it's Basildon at home as well.
Yeah.
Those last two home games, surely you want to give that team the boost to sort of, especially for the home crowd, going into that next season.
Yeah. No, we'll say let's have it. Let's go with it. We're not going to sit back against anyone. Even last game of the season against Charlton might be their victory parade by that point, but we're still not going to sit back. We're not interested in defending our games. We want to come into games and we're going to attack teams. We've done it all season long, and it's not worked out against the bigger ones. There's a clear divide in this division, and it's really becoming quite evident. Your Coventry's and your Charltons really just standing up a little bit higher than everybody else. And as the season wears on, the depth in their squads really shows through. Whereas other teams who are picking up injuries, you can see they're scratching for players, and the resources and the finances, to be honest, make that almost impossible to compete with.